So you're doing roll call?
I'll do roll call.
Good evening and welcome to the June 8th meeting of the Beavercreek Parks Recreation and Culture Board. We're going to start with the call to order. Kim? Oh, now I'm giving the call to order. We're in order. Roll call, that's what I meant to say. Kim, go ahead.
Welcome. So roll call, Miss Beavercreek.
Present.
Mr. Corbett.
Here.
Mrs. Fulcher, here. Mrs. Myers, she is here with us on Zoom. And Mrs. Heaton is stuck in traffic. So
Great.
she said feel free to assign her whatever we wish.
Okay, great. When we get down to action items, I will mark that in. No. Thank you, Kim. So our first item next item on the agenda is approval of this agenda. And you have that in front of you. If you've had a chance to look over that, I will accept a motion to approve the agenda.
A motion.
All right, so motion, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor of approving the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
That carries. And then next you have approval of the minutes. Those minutes you have in front of you that Jackie put together are from our May 11th meeting. I realize, Cecilia, you were in attendance at that meeting. So if, Sharon, you have any changes or
No.
updates, or Candy, if you do as well, let me know. Otherwise, I would accept a motion to approve the minutes from the May 11th meeting.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carries for the approval of the minutes. So let's get into the meat of it. Who's doing the visual report tonight? Is that you, Kim?
That would be Kim Farrell.
Okay.
Good evening. Yes, it seems like it's been forever since I've been here, and I think even longer than that, covering senior center and recreation programming. So this is very exciting for me. So again, welcome. Really appreciate you guys being here, and for those tuning in, and we're excited to cover our June, what we have coming up, and of course what happened in May. We'll start with the senior center. Senior Center Cruise-In, this is a brand new event that they're starting. So June 19th, come on out to the Senior Center in their parking lot. There's going to be a whole bunch of really cool cars that you can check out. You can talk to the owners. We're going to have music, food trucks. The music is provided by the Beavercreek Strummers, so they have been practicing. So we're really looking forward to having them out there. Of course, all our food trucks, lots of fun. If you have a really cool car that you want to show off, please contact the Senior Center, and they will give you the information for it. This is a free event, so for 2 hours, come on out, see your old friends, meet some new friends, and check out some cars. Some updates. I am so happy to report that restrictions have been lifted. So the Senior Center is open. We have been open for about a year, but you have to call in. You have to, call in, say, I want to go to the fitness room, sign up for all the activities. Well, that is no longer. So if you want to come work out in the fitness room, if you're a member, come on in, swipe your card, go work out, sign up for classes, those that you need to register for. If you want to go check out a computer, library book, play pool, just come on in. If you want to come in and say hey to staff, come on in and say hey. So we are really excited for everybody to be back. We're going to be starting our coffee and snack service for all the card games and all the pool players, and so we're working through that. But I will say masks are still required for transportation. That is not necessarily our restriction, but that came down from the CDC and the governor, so all public transportation, you still have to wear a mask. So when you enter the Senior Center, you'll get your temperature taken by the big camera on the ceiling, but swipe your card, and I'll say go crazy because they do go crazy in there. So we love them. So really excited that it's opening up again. Flipping over to recreation, we had our Burt Memorial Golf Scramble. Really excited again. This was just as things were being lifted. We weren't sure what kind of events we were going to be able to do, but we ended up with 116 golfers. This Golf Scramble, this fundraiser goes to and supports both the City of Fairborn Parks and Recreation Department as well as the City of Beavercreek Parks and Recreation Department. So we had a lot of great sponsors. Our biggest is Jenkins Community Development and Detmer and Sons. So we thank them and we thank all of our sponsors that made that possible. And of course, all the golfers. We couldn't do that without them as well. Of course, we had our Memorial Day ceremony on May 31st. Command Chief Master Sergeant Jason Schaefer was our guest speaker. He did a really nice job, and again, we want to thank the base for coming out, supporting the event, giving us a speaker, and then also they do provide some music. So everybody that came out, it was a gorgeous day. So we were thankful to be able to get that in. And again, there were no bleachers, but there were no restrictions, so it's very exciting times now. We had a new event this year, Let's Play Scavenger Hunt. We worked with other recreation departments in the Miami Valley. We had 198 participants, and 58 people actually completed 8 challenges. And what you had to do, there was an app that you put on your phone, and you went from Beavercreek to Moraine to West Carrollton. Again, there were 8 different communities taking part. And so you just went all around the Miami Valley and completed challenges. So there were cash prizes, and that was brought to you by the Miami Valley Recreation Activities Council, which the City of Beavercreek is part of. So hopefully maybe we'll bring that back next year. There's May 24th, I think, is like National Scavenger Hunt Day. So off of that, we developed this. Summer day camp is back. It started yesterday. We've had a high demand. We have a waiting list every single week for camp. And again, so this is our traditional camp. Activities 9:30 to 3:30, Monday through Friday. And we do offer extended hours beginning at 7:30 in the morning to 5:30 p.m. If you would like some information, you're more than welcome to go to our website, call our office, but there is a waiting list every single week. So we're really excited. We have 48 campers for the first week and then 56 for next week. Due to staff, we had to limit our registrations. So if we had more camp counselors, we'd be able to offer more spots. But that's where we're at right now, but good group of kids, great counselors, all wanting to work with children. It's day 2, but they're all still pumped up and ready to go. A new event, again, this year is our family recess. This is taking the place of Party in Your Park that we had a few years ago, but we will be back in some of these neighborhood parks, having all kinds of fun, possibly some food, lots of activities. We have a couple interns that will be out there and just playing recess-style games and leading families through all of this. So it should be a great time. But then also we should have some staff or maybe some park board members at each of those events telling you what's happening for next year or really kind of showing off the improvements that we did this year. At Royal Point Park, I encourage you to come out to all of them, but at Royal Point Park we're going to be talking about replacing your playground next summer or next year. So probably trying to get some information on that. Virgilito, we are working on a path around the park. For this year, Fox Run Park has already seen some improvements. We've talked about that this spring and last year. And Summerfield Park, there's a new concrete walkway, a nice easier access from the street to the playground. So really looking forward to getting out to all those parks and showing everything that we're doing. So come on out, join your neighbors, have a great time. Again, another new program is to learn to kayak, and we are working with Wright State University. So a couple of their campus recreation professionals will teach you how to kayak. We'll be at Dominic Lafino Park. Again, please call our office, log on. You do have to register in advance. And our concerts are starting up this Sunday. We'll run for 8 weeks. From 7 to 8 at Dominic Lafino Park. We'll be on the stage, and again, this will be a very nice time. Mule Skinner Band is our first one this Sunday. So if you haven't made it out yet, please come out. You'll really enjoy it. Some people dance, got some kids running around. It's a nice atmosphere. Again, I hate to keep saying, but another new event that we're doing is the Voodoo Swing Dance. This is the first time that we are trying this. It is a swing dance at the park on Saturday, June 26th for 3 hours. The couple that teaches all of our dances, ballroom, swing, 1, 2, and 3, is going to be out there. They'll teach a little lesson on swing dance. There'll be a band, and then you can practice your moves. So I know Eric has mentioned that he's interested in being out there, so we're looking forward to seeing that. Thank you, Eric.
I'm working on some new moves.
I know you are. And of course, we are bringing back the 4th of July celebration. So we just had a meeting this evening and confirming all the details. But our parade will start at 6 o'clock. It starts at the corner of Meadow Bridge and Dayton Xenia. We travel down Dayton Xenia to about the high school. We are accepting more parade applications. So if your business, your group, your organization hasn't gotten that in yet, please reach out. Again, all of our information is on our website, or you can call our office, and we'll be more than happy to get that information to you. After the parade, head down to Rotary Park, where we'll have a lot of really fun stuff going on. There'll be food trucks. We have the Air Force Band coming out to play. And then, of course, the UES fireworks at 10 p.m. So all celebration is going to be down at Rotary Park. And again, we have a multitude of sponsors this year, and we couldn't do the 4th of July without them. So we'll be highlighting them next month. As far as seasonal staff, I want to welcome our sports management intern, Kyle Hill. He oversees all of our adult softball, and then he has also taken on our sports camps, working with Skyhawks Sports Academy, and just making sure everything is going smooth out there. Our Parks and Recreation intern is Chandler Woodcock. He's in our office for the most part right now, helping on the phones, and he is also helping to plan our 4th of July summer concerts. Both Kyle and Chandler will be out at all our family recess events. Our camp directors are Jenna Page and Morgan Gurley. Both of them were camp counselors last summer, did a phenomenal job, so we brought them back and promoted them. So now they're in charge, and they have a great camp scheduled for this summer, so really excited about it. And then, of course, all our camp counselors, Enoch, Jenya, Kylie, Braden, Elizabeth, Megan, and Amanda. We have some returners and we have some new, but all highly spirited, highly motivated, and really can't wait to provide some great activities for your kids. So I will now turn this over to Mr. Wyke, and he'll report on all our parks. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I should probably, do you have any questions?
I have a quick question.
Sure.
I don't know if anybody else does. On the swing dance
Yes.
event, because I'm ready to show off those new moves.
Fabulous.
Where at the park are they doing that? Is that on the stage, or is it?
Oh, that's a great question. They'll be in the shelter.
Okay. Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Kim, I also have a question.
Yes.
So if you got more oh my, I'm
See,
taking
it's
after
tough
you.
talking.
Yes. If you got more camp counselors, would that make it available for more students or more kids to be able to attend?
It would, yes.
So you're still looking for counselors?
We are not at this time.
Okay.
So just because of our hiring process,
Yeah.
it'll take too long to get them in.
All right.
But yeah, ideally, we have 6 counselors. Ideally, we would have had 8.
Okay.
Are these high school students?
They're not. They're at least graduating from high school. Most of them are college kids already. So you have to be 18 and a high school graduate. You're welcome.
All right, Zach. Thanks, Kim.
All right. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to cover what's going on within parks over the last month. And I know last month I really touched on mowing. Our staff has been working their tails off trying to catch up and stay on top of mowing. I feel like it's kind of coming in waves. We get caught up and then we get tons of rain, and it gets to be pretty difficult. But just know our staff's working hard to continue trying to mow all of our 23 parks. And we're still hiring seasonal maintenance positions. We're one of many employers looking to hire people and just not getting those out in the workforce that want to come work. So if you know anybody that's interested in a seasonal maintenance position, please encourage them to apply, and we'll be hiring all throughout the summer. So never too late to apply, but the sooner the better. I want to touch on our staff and all of the ball diamond prep. So as Kim said, our adult softball leagues are in full swing, and we have a lot of weekend tournaments, and our staff puts in a lot of time getting all of the ball diamonds ready for play. And I just wanted to kind of highlight what they do. It's, can be difficult sometimes when you have a lot of extra rain and you spend extra time drying out the infields, or if we don't have rain and it's too dry, you're having to water the infields to keep them from being so dusty. So they put a lot of time in prepping those infields. And one of the things we've really worked on over the last few years is training our staff so that everybody is capable of maintaining those ball diamonds, and it's starting to pay dividends now. Really, it's all of that cross-training, making sure that it's not specialized to one person. And so all 5 of our full-time staff members have been trained on prepping ball diamonds, so whether it be needing to stay after work one day to prep the fields for adult softball leagues, or coming in on a weekend to give some of the other staff members a break from all the overtime. Everybody's capable of doing it, and it's kind of nice to be able to have a team that can all help each other out. All of our water fountains are now fully open. All of the bubblers are back open. The COVID restrictions on water fountains was lifted. And here's a list of where all of the water fountains are within our parks. So Beavercreek Station, Dominic Lafino Park, E.J. Nutter Park, which that one is backed by the Ball Diamonds. Fifth Third Gateway, Rotary Park has several, Shout Park, Veterans Memorial, and Wardinger Park. And one of the great things that came out of the COVID CARES Act funding was we were able to switch out all of the water fountains within our parks. So the one that you see here in the photo is representative of what you're seeing out in most of the parks. Not all of them have the doggy bowl at the bottom, but we do have bottle fillers on all of our water fountains. Some of them we've been slowly replacing, but the CARES Act really helped us out. So we have all new water fountains out within our parks. And coming up here in a couple weeks, weather dependent, will be the start of the playground replacement at Grangeview Acres Park. So that's slated for the week of June 21st. And Landscape Structures is the playground company that is supplying the equipment, and their staff and contractors will be installing all of the new playground equipment. And here is a mock-up of what that playground will look like. The city staff will be removing the existing playground after the new playground is installed. So the existing playground will remain open during construction. Again, it's weather dependent, but it should take about a month or so for the new playground to be installed. And our staff will remove the old one when the new one reopens. And the basketball court, the dome climber, and the shelter are all staying. So those will stay. The other structures, the old playground structure or the old slide, all of that will be removed. And our staff may be doing some extra work, such as a concrete sidewalk for access up to the new playground and shelter and all of that as well. And I know we've talked about this quite a bit, but it's got delayed last year just because of some of the staffing issues that COVID caused. But we were out yesterday marking out the outline for the new parking lot at Fox Run, which you can see here in the map will be at the end of Southfield Drive, right on the edge of the road in our property line. This will be gravel parking for about 8 to 10 cars, and we'll have construction completed by July 9th. And finally, I just want to give an update on the Spotted Turtle Trail. This photo here is a mock-up of what the new trailhead sign will look like. The sign frame has been installed, and the footer has been installed where that trailhead sign is going. And where the prairie that is there has been sprayed. So if you've been out there, you'll see that it's dead. That's what it's supposed to look like right now. Later this late fall, early winter, a contractor will be reseeding that 2-acre prairie to a native Ohio prairie seed mix. And some other upcoming projects will be to build an observation deck, installing new interpretive graphic panels throughout the prairie and on the observation deck, adding sidewalk access from the current sidewalk to the observation deck, and repaving the parking lot. And we are working with contractors on getting quotes for all of those right now.
Is that at Phillips?
It's both at Phillips and at Rotary Park.
Rotary,
So
okay.
there will be trailheads at both of those
I
locations.
saw the frame at Phillips, and I wondered if it seemed so soon.
Yeah.
So that's great. That's happening that quickly.
Yeah, Phillips will look similar. I think they have a 3-panel sign. Ours is a 2-panel sign. And this is a mock-up of the panel now. We're going through and making some small modifications, but it looks great, and we're pretty excited about this project fully coming through. The Wetlands Association has done an awesome job as far as doing all the fundraising and coordination of work. They're installing about a half mile of new boardwalk back in that wetlands that will provide access to a lot of areas that people have not seen back there, areas that have just been inaccessible. Look for a ribbon cutting sometime in July, and they have an open house that they're working on details at the end of August. That'll be fun with some food truck vendors and guided tours of this phase one of the project. And that is all I have, but I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Have you considered contracting out some of the lawn maintenance services?
Yes, we have. We do contract out some lawn mowing at our city cemeteries, and we have reached out to some of our local contractors to obtain pricing to help us out with the mowing. We're just not getting the seasonal staff. Normally we have about 10 to 12 seasonal staff members that we hire in parks, and this year we have 4 right now. So we are looking on obtaining some quotes to help us out with mowing through the rest of this year, but also then moving forward in future years, just until we can prove that we're going to get seasonal staff members that can come back on board and help us.
What's the, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Can it be more cost effective if you contract that service out?
It can be. A lot of it depends. Obviously when you're paying our full-time staff overtime, it's more cost effective to contract it out. But I feel like in some of the pricing that we've received over the last couple of years, mowing prices have gone up. And I think a lot of that's just because they're fighting the same issues. They're having to pay their employees more now than they had to. It used to be a lot more cutthroat on the pricing side, and I feel like now they're in more demand, so they're able to charge more for their services. So it's certainly expensive, but when we're not having to pay overtime and all of the benefits, you can see some cost savings.
Zach, when does the time period end for the seasonal employees?
Our seasonals really go from usually like March, April, all the way through October, November.
Okay.
A lot of times when you have college students, they're limited with their hours, usually from May to August. But we do get a lot of those folks who are not tied to that schedule that can work later into the year, which is a benefit to us. So we do require a valid Ohio driver's license. And if you are 17, we are able to make exceptions at times for coming on board, but most of the time you have to be 18.
I have one more question for you, Zach. Do you have an update on the bid for the Wardinger Park barn yet?
Yeah, so Kim, you may be able to answer that question a little bit better than I can.
Yes, I have an update. So the bid closed a couple weeks ago. We have the company that is the lowest bid. Right now, it came in more than what we had anticipated. So again, Maverma, our insurance group, is the one paying for the renovation and the rebuild. And so we're working with our insurance group to say, here's what it is. How much are you going to pay? And then we're just working through that. We haven't signed a contract with the construction group yet. But yep, that's all. I'm hoping, I keep saying in the next week, and it just keeps saying the next week. But I'm hoping here in the next couple weeks, we'll have that signed. The one challenge that we're going to run into is they can't get lumber. So they may start, like, you tearing up the concrete, because all the concrete's going to go. They'll re-pour it, pour new footers. The existing wall from the barn, I thought we could keep, but that's got to come down as well. So they'll do as much as they can, and then until the lumber comes in, they have said that they can have everything completed by the end of November. So it'll still go up this year, but right now it's kind of sitting in our hands to sign that contract.
Thank you.
And the one thing I'll add to that, our staff is right now starting to move all of the Beavercreek Historical Society items that are in that lean-to storage area. They're moving it out of that storage into temporary storage located on site in a trailer, basically. So if you're there, you will see that. But our staff is moving all of that out during construction. That lean-to will stay. And then once everything is reconstructed, we'll move everything back into the new barn.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Zach. Thanks, Kim. Old business, really the only old business that we've been working through is continue to work on volunteer recognition. We were able to have a short conversation today, but not as long as we'd hoped originally, and we'll continue to work on that moving forward. Anything else on old business? No. New business. I should have said this at the very beginning, before anything else, and it's not on the agenda, but I wanted to welcome Cecilia to our board. It's her first meeting and new to park board, so I apologize for not doing that at the beginning. We kind of got started in a rush, so I was lucky I could get words out correctly at that point, I believe. But we're glad you're joining us. We're excited to have somebody new to our board, and we know that you've got a vast amount of experience participating in and supporting recreational activities in Beavercreek, so we're anxious to hear your perspective as we move forward. So thank you very much for your willingness to serve. Also in new business, we have volunteer opportunities, which the staff typically share for the community and for the board to participate in. So I believe that's you, Kim.
Sure. So the next couple of things that we have coming up, I mentioned the family recess coming up, a couple in June, a couple in July. So if you can come out, it would be, just kind of talking to the community about what's coming. Certainly I'd let you know the projects and give you some information before sending you out there. If you can come for the whole time, if you can come for a half hour, fantastic. Chandler is putting all that stuff together. I will be at Royal Point next week. But yeah, happy to have anybody else. And then the other one is the 4th of July. So we typically have a tent at Rotary Park. And again, just, hey, here's what's going on in our parks. Here's what's coming up in recreation. So if anybody wants to come out, enjoy the celebration with us. If you want to hang out all night, awesome. If you can only come for a little bit, that's fine too. So those are the two biggies that are happening in the next few weeks.
Great. Thanks, Kim. And I believe the park board members have an email out there from Kyle, I think, about the family resource.
Maybe it was Kyle. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
either Kyle or Chandler was sending the stuff out.
Yeah.
Yep.
So please, if you're available and able to support that, please respond to that email. Anything else for new business? Hearing none, move on to unscheduled visitors. I'm not seeing any of those out there tonight, which leads us to action items. I have a personal action item. I agreed to send some information that I had seen on volunteer recognition programs to the rest of the staff, so we can, rest of the board, so we can discuss those next month at our next meeting or through email between now and then as well. Any other action items I am not aware of or forgetting? All right, hearing none, we will finish our meeting tonight with board time, and I would ask, I don't know if Candy's even still with us.
She is.
She is? Candy, if you can hear me, do you have anything you'd like to share for board time?
Welcome to Cecilia, to the board. Looking forward to meeting you in person. And also, the family recess sounds like a really great idea. I think a lot of people are on board. Because it's
not
things
on.
like that that's going to be a good event. And it's free.
Thank you, Candy. We agree. I think the family recess is going to be fantastic. I think, Candy, for the next meeting, we need to get a cardboard cutout of you, like so many of the ballparks have had, to put you in a chair up here, which also will help me remember that you're there. But thank you for joining us, Candy. Sharon?
I don't this time. I know.
Okay. And then in your first meeting, Cecilia, do you have anything you'd like to share at board time?
No, but I do have a question.
Please.
So it was mentioned about Carex money that was spent. Is there any other things that were purchased for the Parks and Rec Department through the Carex Funds?
The short answer is yes. So we put in, there was a lot, so it came to the city, and so Parks and Recreation benefited, planning, police, everybody benefited from it, including the senior center. So the water fountains were the biggest. We also replaced all the toilets and sinks and soap dispensers, so all of those are automatic. We got in Lafino Plaza, the push button, so like for the restrooms down at Lafino Plaza side, accessible bathroom buttons. Those are the bigger ones that I can think of, but we did, I believe there was more, I just can't think of all of them. But I'm happy to kind of go, I think we have a spreadsheet out there somewhere, but I'm happy to share that with you. Yeah, you're welcome.
Great, thank you. And, I don't have anything really either specifically. We'll continue to publicize and encourage you to come out for the 4th of July, which is only a few weeks away at this point. And I think as things have opened back up, and Kim was certainly sharing her excitement for that earlier tonight, we want to continue to encourage you to come out and take advantage of all these opportunities that have, I think, largely for the parks, have largely helped us get outside and enjoy things safely in a COVID environment. So, come out and participate. With that, I will accept a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second? Second. All in favor of adjourning, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Meeting adjourned. It's like my second.